Hey guys, Ben here. Hey guys, Ben here. This is my channel and I post videos about my hobby. I like building things and working with my hands, but occasionally I'll post a random video about something else. You might see a video about my Etsy store, but right now I'm pretty heavily into Nerf Blaster modification. So that's probably what you'll be seeing for some time to come. I have a gaming channel, but gaming has taken a bit of a back seat in my life right now. Source. Oh, that just got significantly louder. Okay, source. Now I'm hearing myself. Great. This is wonderful. Oh, that just got significantly louder. Oh, great. Source. Now I'm hearing myself. Great. This is wonderful. Oh, that just got significantly louder. Oh, great. Source. Okay. Apparently that takes in. Where am I? Where is that inputting from? Yeah, I'm aware. No, it's coming in from somewhere, and it's really confusing because I'm not quite sure. It has to be coming in from my encoder, but I'm not quite sure how to mute my encoder. Oh wait. That's not working. Never mind. Can you hear the echo that I'm hearing? Is your PC audio connected to the stream? Probably. Stream on the... Wait, I think I can fix it. Can you guys wait, I think I can fix it. No. Wait. Probably not. Can you guys No, that's a bunch worse. This is gonna take a minute. Don't expect anything to happen within the first couple minutes of this, because I'm aware it's much worse. I have zero idea what I'm doing. Input, output, stream only, input, Yeti, microphone. No, I just use headphones. I don't have like speakers. Can I move this chat thing up more? So I can actually pop out chat. Oh, that's convenient. Is your mic set to be only input? I think so. Unless there's some other thing that I'm not seeing. Which you know, very well might be a thing. What's... There we go. Whoopsie. Something called XSplit, I think it was called. XSplit broadcasting. Yeah, no, I deleted my input by accident. Let's see. And that will unmute it. Is that correct? Yep, that's what that does. Okay, and that will unmute it. Default speakers. What does that do? Did that do it? I think that just did it. Why would that be a setting? Mutes, unmutes, default speakers. Why would that be a setting? Whatever. That's the dumbest setting I've ever seen. That mic sounds horrible. Okay. Hold on, I haven't used gain in so long. I don't know if I'm turning it up or down. Oh, hey. I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm just testing it out. I actually didn't know I was actually live streaming. I was just like, I might as well test this, and I'm sitting here for like 20 minutes like this, staring at my computer. Yeah, so anyway, that was what I was testing. I didn't really mean to actually start on anyone. It's really weird because I'm seeing like 3 of myself on the screen. Okay, well now I know for future. How many people are watching? How do I tell? 6 people. I have a whole 6 people. I think there's a peak of like 10 and everyone's like, okay, he has no idea what he's doing. I'm out. Okay, well, now I need to figure out how to move my webcam in my closet, because that's where everything is. I don't think I have a USB extension that long. I'm probably gonna have to buy some things, if I want to do this, like a USB extension and a, whatever this microphone runs on extension. Or I just use the... What are the speakers from the webcam sound like? Oh wait, is it built in audio right now? Now I'm confused. Hold on, I need to turn on the sound of my stream so I can hear myself. Okay, that's the Yeti, supposedly. It didn't change at all. Oh wait, do I have to refresh? Testing, 1, 2, 3. Now I can hear myself. Now I hear both, I think. This is wonderful, wonderfully dumb software. Test. Okay, I can hear myself. This is great. I have an entire workbench in my closet. That's where all my tools are and stuff. What are you using, OBS? I'm not sure what that is. If you're asking to program something called XSplit, it's just whatever YouTube recommended. I just give up. Okay, I think that's just gonna have to do. And then make sure I'm still working. If I mute this, mute. Okay, that is my input. Sorry, I'm like watching my own stream because I'm not sure of any other way to check it. So there's kind of that delay there. I'm just trying to figure out if I can get the mic from my webcam instead of the Blue Yeti, because the Blue Yeti's nice, but if I'm going to go into the closet, it's going to be a pain in the rear if I have to drag the microphone in there as well. It says audio input built-in /none. Oh, you know what? I think that's why. Testing? Why can I hear myself now? From this. Nope. Pretty sure I'm just gonna give up because I don't care. Don't care enough. Can you go into detail a little bit in depth of why you don't really like ravens? I think ravens are fine. I just don't think I have trouble like shifting between something if it's like, oh well, this is more efficient in this way, so why would I use the other thing? There's just more barrel drag in the Raven basically, and there's no complicates the trigger because it's mechanical, so you have to line it all the way to the back when the Strife doesn't have to do that, and then you get the barrel drag on top of that, and then I just don't see a reason to use a Raven over anything besides, look, it's in the back, the magazine's in the bullpup. I don't have anything against Ravens. I just don't care enough to say like, oh, this is a rare Raven, so I'm gonna save it. If you were to get a DSLR, did you have in mind which one you would want to get? I've looked into DSLRs a little bit, and let me look on my Amazon list. I think it's a Nokia, but I'm not going to open my mouth because I'm going to look like an idiot if I don't know what I'm actually saying. The Nokia D5500 is the one I was looking at. That's a few $100s out of my price range. I would love to get a DSLR, but it's just not in the top priorities of things to do right now. How's Chaos Dogma coming along? Slow and painfully. I'm printing out some things right now. It's just kind of testing it to even see if it's a feasible. My voice just kind of shook there. Just to kind of see if it's even a plausible thing that I can fit together. And so far, it's actually working better than I thought it was going to work out. But obviously, the resolution of my printer is not good enough for me to do anything with it. So these are going to be very expensive components if I print them off of somewhere like Shapeways. So I'm still in the process of kind of figuring out what I'm going to do. Small part of me wants to talk to Liam Davis because he recently got his bloody katana or whatever machined by that company that I should remember, Explorer. And so I kind of want to see if they would be willing to do something like that. But then I only use a 3D modeling software that's compatible with 3D printing, so getting something else in a CNC format would be another complication, and blah blah blah. So I'm still kind of trying to think of how I'm going to translate an image on the computer to the real world, because 3D printing, but it's kind of more than that, like more complicated than that. Hi, how are you? I'm doing very, very well. I was bored and I started working on something. I was like, I wonder if I could live stream this. And then I was trying to just figure it out in general, but obviously I can't get my webcam in there without an extender or something. Nokia, whatever, Nokia. Yeah, the phone. We're talking about the phone. You know what I meant. I always love the Omolon frames. Yeah, I like the Omolon when the top thing is removed, like when the whole front end barrel thing is removed. I hate when it's like all together and it's like the finished rifle. It looks terrible with the front on, in my opinion. I see you, Phoenix. So supportive. Six by 6x6. I'm getting a new larger one soon. If you cover the film, I should be happy to print them. 6 by 6 inches. Mine's close to that, I think. It's just, yeah, I'm gonna have to see, because a small, very, very small part of me wants to just say screw it and do it off of Shapeways at a really high resolution. But obviously that's going to cost a lot. Will you be getting into secret fire guns soon or no? I have no idea. Oh, select secret. Select fire guns soon. I don't really need select fire. I'm more of a single shot person to begin with. And I don't really need full auto for any reason in the slightest. I just think it wastes ammo. For most people, I think that it's a good reason to, like, get a tag or something, but I have pretty accurate blasters, so I don't really need to spray and pray at all. I can tag people from 60 feet on shot number 3, so it's kind of a waste of ammo for me. And then burst fire, I don't get at all. I don't get that in the slightest. At that point, just burst control with your finger, but I'm on the opinion of, if you're going to make a blaster, it should be good at one thing, because once you try to make a jack of all trades, you get into more complicated things and it becomes less reliable, and we're already dealing with not very reliable things in Nerf. Just an opinion. So I want brushless Raven because it'd be super compact. I haven't... those motors are expensive. No, I take that back. The motors are not expensive. The controllers are expensive. The controllers are stupid expensive, and I'd like to actually get the motor in my hand before I try to design something like that. So I haven't even looked into that at all, Phoenix. You'll be getting into... I read that. SLA printing, perhaps. Yeah, I'm not sure in the slightest on what printing type. I have no idea. Could I get your thoughts on a bullpup chaos I'm building? I mean, if that's your thing, I don't really see a reason to complicate things in bullpup. Just because in real steel that has actual grounds. Am I speaking loud enough? In real steel that has actual grounds, because you need more barrel length, more pressure you get behind it, more accurate, more powerful, blah blah blah. In Nerf, you kind of don't have that unless you need a multi-stage, and even if you had a multi-stage, it's kind of getting to the point where it's thicker this way, so your hand would kind of get in the way, so you might as well just put it in front. But I mean, if it's just for an aesthetic thing, if you just feel like putting it in the back, more power to you, creativity. That's why, you know, we get into the hobby, so we can make things that we like, and we're not locked into something. Yes, time is decent resolution. I could send you a picture of some prints to show you the resolution. What would be a good way to send me something? You can send me pictures on Etsy, which is probably going to be the easiest way because I get it on my phone. You can attach files, I think, would be the easiest way to contact me. And that's not a sales pitch or anything. Like, that's genuinely the easiest way to get a hold of me because I have it on the phone. I'd almost never read my Etsy messages on the computer. Not sure if I asked already previously about thoughts on upcoming Neo MTB motors. Finally, for the record, the Hellcats have ball bearings and the Rhinos do not. He said Ryan said the reason behind that was that the Rhinos would be almost as expensive as the Hellcats, and that's not really what he wanted. So finally, we're getting decent motors, and these are confirmed to be actual neodymium and not fake neodymium. So that's good to hear. I know I'm being kind of anal about it, but I don't like the casing of it, even with the anodized, even if the top was anodized, which it's not. But I just don't like the cheap casing of it. That's just me. That's just a personal thing. I also prefer 2S, but right now they're pretty much going to be the only option for a while, I think. My gosh, you guys are starting to comment fast. Where am I? Burst is you can shoot faster than your finger. Well, yeah, but a burst fire, shoot faster than your finger, then you just have full auto, right? Because, like, I can get, because once you start get, like, 10 rounds per second, obviously you're not going to finger bang like that, but, I mean, wouldn't you just go doo-doo and shoot a few off? Ben, get a PS4. No. All my friends are on Xbox One already, so that's the main reason why I don't switch. A controller like the microcontroller or ESC. Yeah, ESC. Those things are like freaking $25 a piece. Unless you can show me one that's in the range that I'm just missing. But I'd be spending like $70 on motors and ESCs. Shapeways is stupid expensive. Shapeways is stupid expensive. There's a few ways to get around some of their expenses. For instance, like they have like some one-time things, like one-time deals for new people. So I actually have like 20 accounts with Shapeways. that's not a joke. I've made several accounts on Shapeways. Longer barrel, shorter overall package, benefits of the bullpup. Wait, longer barrel and shorter. Yeah, for real steel. Yeah, you just said that. Yeah, that doesn't obviously translate. Cool, thanks for your thoughts. Okay, at CLB. With your modified Stinger Raven, how did you fit the lipo and what lipo did you use? Will you ever do a video on your end war loadout? So the Stinger Raven battery, hold on. So the Stinger Raven battery, I'm gonna have to pull up my thing for this. The Stinger Raven battery is, I removed the screw port in the lighting. Ta-da! I removed the screw port right here, back here, that you can't see in the slightest because it's on the wrong side like an idiot. I removed this screw port, just completely cut it off on the inside, and then I laid the battery. I actually have one right here. It's a 2S graphene, 1000 milliamp. I put the battery in just like that, and there's just enough room. I took some padding, some EVA foam padding from one of those koozies for a soda can. It's like the real thick, squishy stuff. I put it on either side, so it kind of supported in there, so I obviously didn't have to glue this, because gluing this would be a bad idea, and I'm just now realizing that my hot glue gun is on. I did leave that on all night once. And then I just kind of wrapped the wires in a way that they wouldn't get in the way of the pusher mechanism. But I XT60 to a Dean's connector on the inside of the battery tray. This space right here was open, then the other 3 were regular AA's for the LEDs, and then all excuse me, that was dust. Then all of the wires fit in here. Put a Dean's connector coming from the battery and connected those in there, and then there was a balance lead as well. But I wasn't sure if charging the battery while the negative was still connected to the motors was a great idea. So yeah, I just put a little Dean's connector in there. If that answers your question. It's, graphene, Turnigy, 2S, 1000 milliamp, 65C discharge. Not sure what the burst is because it's not written on there. Cough. Chronos X. Cough. You need power source circuits for the Strife. AA's generally. It's just what fits in the stock battery tray. If I did do one build, the blue one, number 10, I did do that one with just a LiPo. It didn't have room for batteries, so I ran it off the LiPo. The guy was okay with running it that way. I personally don't like doing that because when you rev it, it dims the LEDs ever so slightly for a split second. I'm starting to buy 5-watt resistors because there's so much wattage going through, even for AA's, that the resistor heats up a stupid amount. And I was like, well, Ethereal Fortress runs off this, and it's not heating up like that. Opened up Ethereal Fortress, come to find out it is heating up like that, and I don't know how it was lasting that long. Apparently, I just got a really good one, got lucky. So I actually replaced that recently with a 10-watt one. It's like this freaking big, but I had the room, so I figured I might as well. But, you know, whatever fits. I try not to use button cells just because those go by so fast. I'm sorry, I'm trying to answer all of the questions, and in turn, I'm not getting to them very quickly. I wasn't planning on doing this. Gonna see you in a war. Great to see you at End War. Thanks for going. Are you going to the next End War? They still haven't announced it, but like the location or anything. But I mean, I plan on it. I don't know why I have this on. It's not doing anything. Thank you so much for answering questions. I know you should leave your click on all night. For 3 days, and you didn't burn your house down. I'm very, very shocked. I was surprised I didn't burn the house down because I was like, wow, this is a nice hot glue gun. Do you have Destiny 2? I do have Destiny 2. I have it for the Xbox One. Actually, just finished a raid. Done that too. Usually, 650 constants, 95. I think it's 100 and. You know what? I don't care. I'm just gonna trust you. Whatever burst. By the way, as of right now, I can only print in PLA. Is that okay? The material does not matter. The only thing that matters is the actual shape of it, because I have a feeling. Don't tell anyone, but I have a feeling if I keep this as 3D printed. I just dropped this on my phone and it didn't break. I'm really, really happy. I have a feeling if I keep it as a printed piece, it's gonna bother me. So there's as the time goes on, there's an increasing chance that I might mold this entire thing. Don't quote me on anything, but it's the more I look at something like this that's 3D printed, it's gonna bother me, and I really don't think I'm gonna get away with that, knowing myself. Do you have any models of NYX crossbows? Wait, NYX Expo. No, I don't have any of NYX files. We ever do a video on N-War loadout? Oh, sorry, N-War loadout. I mean, I guess I can do one right now. Let me get my mag bag. I'll be right back. So, I don't really run around with a whole lot. I have a Camelback for water for longer games like NV or HVZ events, and that just goes on normally. And then I have my mag bag, which I run for everything because it's kind of heavy and it kind of works on the neck a little bit. But I've worn it for 12 hours straight, and it's not too terrible, because I have a strap that goes around my waist and that takes a lot of the weight off. But this just slings around like a messenger bag. And then I have 9 mags in here, and I made this bag because I was searching for 3 weeks for something kind of like Coop's old mags that go on the side, how it stacks of 1x3 and then stack those together, but no one was making those anymore, and I literally couldn't find just the only thing I wanted, so I was like, screw it. So I made my own. It took way too much effort, way too much planning, but I like it. And then Ethereal Fortress, of course. I've decided not to run a sidearm because I don't see any reason to run a sidearm. If my primary fails, then I'm kind of screwed, and I also reload in a different way. So if I have a mag in there, I also have a mag in my other hand, so whenever I reload, I do that. And then the flared mag well, I pretty much have no downtime, and then I can still shoot with this one, and then I'm busy putting this one away, and then I grab another one and then sling. That's another nice thing I like about my mag bag, is I can sling it back, and I can sling it all the way forward so it's out of my way, or I can completely look at it. But I mean, that's pretty much it. Oh, and for longer events, I also have a dump pouch where I keep like sunscreen and socks and stuff like that. Sunscreen is a big one, by the way. Learn that very, very quickly. Always be the guy who has the spray-on sunscreen. Resin casted, yeah. I'm so paranoid I won't be able to feel it for it. Yes, woot. Causing work in heat. Yeah, that's why I don't use PLA. This is actually PLA, but it's just testing, so I don't care. It's just cheaper. Live loadout over here. A lot of mags. Where'd you get? I want. Would you recommend? What would you recommend as a minimum FPS at N-War? At a national event like that where there's that many people, I think 120 should be the cap. Soft cap, I'm saying, because I think testing everyone's blaster is kind of ridiculous, and I don't think that's really necessary. If there's some asshole out there who's trying to hurt people at 170 FPS, you'll know. But as long as you say, look, don't kill anyone, then that should be fine. Then, you know, scan over everybody's equipment. If you see a single Titan, point them out. But I think regulating it so far to every tiny little detail is a bad idea, because you're asking people to break the rules. In a community like this, where if you just tell people, look, don't be jerks, go for it, then they're more likely to keep it at a lower FPS than if you were to give them a hard line, don't go above 130. That's just my opinion. But 120, 130 for bigger game. The games we have here locally are 150, but we don't like really check. It's just because we have smaller kids, really. Probably PC. What kind of microphone do you use? This is a Blue Yeti. I've had this one for quite a while. If you stalk Amazon long enough, I got mine for like $75. They're normally like $120. But yeah, it's just, yeah, I believe it's a Blue Yeti. That's, yeah. Should read ahead a little bit, but I'm not going to because I'm not stubborn. I've been stuck at the top of the chat forever. Give me a proper PC. 130 hit. Thanks. Okay. Those coops, nice. Hello. Thank you for what I found the messenger bag really. I noticed when I showed up with my messenger bag at my local war for the first time, like after like war number 3, people started actually coming with like regular messenger bags and stocking mags in there, which is kind of funny. Can you make a Strife mod tutorial? MTB is going to be the place for your Strife mod tutorial. The only thing I'd really change in that is I would always put in a motor cover and the way you'd stick in the switch, but that's easy enough to do. Just put a plate on there and physically anchor it down with like a screw or something. I don't believe in the whole like you gotta slap all this epoxy crap on your switch. Your switch is an opponent that is going to fail eventually. So it's kind of stupid to permanently anchor it down to a blaster that you spent 70 hours sanding. Test the FDL to make sure it's clocked in. Test the FDL to make sure it's clocked in. You're not talking to me. Someone's running around modding hydro cannon. So, yeah. Yeah. Bobo had made a hydro cannon way back in the day. Put like 2 air compressors on it. And blue shape parts look great. Can't wait for the green ones. Thank you. Appreciate that. How do you wire the voltage alarm and a blaster lipo? How do you wire up a voltage alarm in a Nerf blaster with a lipo? Also, how do you wire in a voltmeter? Volt alarm you would not wire in. There are little plug-in things. I don't know where mine is. It's in the other room. But you would go off the balance lead and you'd literally just plug it in and then set. There's a little button on top. I didn't know I actually had a lipo alarm. I thought it was a voltmeter, but there's a little button on top, I think, that you can change your setting to when it goes off. I usually never bring my lipos down beyond storage level. That's just me. You can bring it down a little further than that, but whatever. I don't really need a voltage alarm because if you have a voltmeter in a position where you're checking it often enough, you're never going to, if you get into the habit of checking it, you're never going to run your lipo down to the point where it needs to alarm. There are two different types of voltmeters. There's ones with 3 prongs and there are ones with 2 prongs. The 3 prongs have white, red, and black usually. The 2 wires just have the red and black. 2 wires, you would, coming straight off of the battery, the connection to the battery, you're going to splice in the black lead going directly to the voltmeter. Coming off of the voltmeter with the red, if you have 3, it's going to be red and white. They're going to go to the same location. You're going to splice it into you're going to run it into a momentary switch, off of the momentary switch, and splice it directly into the positive of the battery. So that way, when you hit the button, you're basically just connecting the 2 ends of the battery into the voltage meter. Make sure that those connections are directly into the battery and not after a switch, like your ref switch. But it's pretty simple. You're basically just taking the voltmeter and plugging it directly into the lipo. Some colored parts of Straven or something like that might sell well. Packs of those super sweet colored parts for the Straven or something. If you're talking about separating them, the back of the Raven is already separated so that you can just order the parts for the Straven, because that's originally what I made them for, and I just kept them separated. Any mod plans in the future? Chaos Dogma, Glass Constructs, which I have not settled on the name. I have a lot of people telling me it's a stupid name. That blaster I'm not going to mention because I have not leaked that anywhere. And then Pocket Javelin has always been a thing. Those are the 4 ones right now. One of them, so only one of them secret. What's your favorite mod by another kidder? Favorite mod? I don't know. I haven't thought about it. Off the top of my head, no, I don't know. I've never thought about what my favorite mod is. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. Great by a Stripe kit and a Raven kit. Honor. You better say Eidolon. Eidolon was one that came to my mind. What's your favorite mod from another modder? Yeah, I'll have to get back to you on that. What's that's way more expensive than I thought a Straven kit would be. Yeah, unfortunately. There's quite a few molds themselves that I'd have to pour into. Unfortunately. How did you get tagged out at NVZ? At NVZ? The second day, I made it to the second day. That's really both times, NVZ and NWAR. I made it to the second day. That's really the only thing I was looking for. And we were starting to get surrounded, and I noticed that we were kind of holding here, and they were pushing this way, and I noticed that they were starting to come around this way, and so I skedaddled and ran back, and Bobo got caught in that kind of loop there, and apparently his blaster jammed, and so he died a few seconds before me, and then that wave came around the corner to the group where I was now with, and we started running, and then we're like, screw it, and we made our final stand, knowing exactly how we were going to die. But the point is, I lasted several seconds longer than Bobo. What is storage level for Lipo? Storage is per cell 3.8 to 3.85. Will you ever see the return of Straven you were working on? No, because the Straven is gone. I'm assuming I finished it. It was probably one of the commissions that I finished. Either it was probably a commission that I already finished. It might have been the red one, the white, black, and red LED'd one. Because I don't have any Stravens left that I'm working on. How'd you get tagged out of Z? Did you say that already? Am I going backwards? I'm going backwards. Was storage? Yeah, I am going backwards. I went very backwards. Hey, no. Not stupid. I love your names, especially Glass Construct. Keep it, or I'll totally take that name. Thank you. You're one of the few supporters I have. Thank you. It's 2 or 3. Yes. What's your favorite mod that you've? What's your favorite mod that you've done? That I've done? Hands down. Not even a competition. What do you think the hardest part about End War was? Parking lots. And I think that should have been fixed. As well, if you talk to anyone that was at End War, except for the people who were native to there, it was really dumb that there was no safe locations. The second day, there were like 100 zombies in the parking lot. It was like 80 to 100 zombies in the parking lot, because as soon as you let go of your door handle, even while you were gearing up, you were vulnerable. And I think it was hard in the sense that shouldn't have been the hard part. It was kind of dumb. And half the people I know that got tagged out like that. And that's kind of stupid when you've come across the United States to be there. Whatever. What are you going to do? It was still fun. You work a lot with LEDs. What are your thoughts of LEDs resistors next to EVA foam? As long as you're using the right components, you're fine. Make sure that you test out the LED enough first, because, you know, the most thing I'd worry about is the wires themselves heating up. if your LED blows out, it's just gonna go, and it will smoke out immediately. It's not gonna start a fire or something as long as it's a decent LED. But I've mounted it to EVA foam before. I've mounted it to cardboard before. Yes, I do remember you, Null. You're from Wacom server. I've always been jealous of your blaster names. I have a stupid long list of names. Not show them from far away. No, I won't. You won't see them first. Bloop. They're freaking. You see all those? Whenever I think of a word that is not very common, I'll just jot it down, and then I'll worry about it later. I'll worry about pairing up the words later. Usually, I don't get a lot of good words to pair up with it. Like, it'll be like that word, that one will pair up perfectly with that. That's usually how I come up with my names. I literally just write down a bunch of names and then mix and match them until something fits. I try to stay away from the super edgy things like dark and midnight and ultra, but you know, that's just from being on Xbox so long. You have a bunch of people called Super Master Elite Ninja 117. Where am I? Yep, parking lots. Same, mine sucks. Parking lots should have been safe. Yep, not to mention that, you know, cars. Yeah, that was really dumb. Got tagged out of I got tagged out of parking lot. Okay, that was retracted. As I was reading that was retracted. No idea what you said. On the subject of N-War, do you think it should be an HVZ event? I want to play Nerf as Nerf. Oh, I see what you're saying. One thing they did at N-War was they had like a safe like hour or two, and they just had a bunch of like different smaller wars in like a local field or whatever, like a local patch or something. I didn't take place in that because I didn't have any desire to, but yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind them setting aside, you know, like a pre-game day. What would be nice is if they had multiple things going on at once during FoamCon, because FoamCon was like 8 hours. You're not spending 8 hours in FoamCon. The only reason why you would be to hang out with people themselves, but it would have been nice if they had a registration open at that time so you could register all your stuff, have your blasters tested at the same time. I heard the reason why they didn't do that at the same time was because they didn't want to step on Drax's toes because they weren't like coordinating well enough or something. Whatever. It would have been nice if they did that at the same time, and then maybe, you know, you could add like a local like a field next to the event or something. Just be like, hey, play some normal Nerf games or something, a couple games of deathmatch, whatever. Don't stay. Yeah, I agree with you, Phoenix. Should be HVZ. What are your thoughts on the Ravenfire? Kohl's is retarded, and I'm surprised they're still in business because they should be sued. It is very illegal to say the MSRP is $70 when it's clearly not. Their MSRP for the Nemesis is $180, and it's never come anywhere close to that. That is illegal, and I don't really like to support Kohl's as much as I can. The Ravenfire itself, I mean, yeah, I like the white plastic. I hate to be so critical of it, but the only thing I can think of is, oh, white plastic. Now when I rip it apart and repaint it, I can have a white plastic so it doesn't bleed through. That's my first thought, unfortunately, and it's the same with the Strife, actually. But Ravenfire, if you like the Raven, it's going to be the same thought. 10-round magazine, that's complete bull, by the way. I have my full auto rep straight. Finally have my full auto rapid red set up. That's good. I'm glad you got that to work. I knew you were working on that. Do you know Drax's real name? I do know Drax's real name. Mission starts. That. Oh, you're still going on that. I hate Kohl's. Same Kohl's. They're bargains where the sun don't shine. I bought an Alpha Trooper from there. Way too much. Yeah. I got my Alpha Troopers when they first came out. Back when I wasn't too far into modding, and they were glitched at $5. So I got 2 of them for $5, and I managed to, because the people at Target didn't want to give me that, and they finally were like, well, we can give you 1, but you can't get the other one. And I lied my way out of that. I was like, well, I was already gonna buy 2 because I have a friend and I was gonna buy one for him anyway, so it's kind of your fault that it's messed up anyway. And I just kept talking until they gave me what I want. But I would never pay full amounts. You're gonna have to have some stupid sales to bring it down to a normal price, and I'm gonna really want it for me to even touch Kohl's, because there's always people out there that I can trade for. I'm at a little bit of an advantage because I can be like, hey, I'll trade you some parts for whatever. I think I actually did that with Phoenix. I was like, I really want an incisor, but I don't want to pay for it, so I just traded him like double the amount in material. And he got me one of those. I traded it a couple months ago because I don't have any use for it. But it's an interesting blaster. I just don't like that type. No, flywheels are better. Flywheels are better. I agree with you. No, if you like springers, I totally get why you like springers. I just prefer semi-auto. The noise doesn't bother me at all. If I'm trying to be stealthy, don't rev the blaster. You know, just wait until the last second. I'm usually not trying to sneak up on multiple people. Totally possible to sneak up on people with revving blaster. You just have to know what you're doing. I know. I'm just wondering. Oh, Springer primary. No. Yeah. If I was gonna use Springer primary, it'd be Pocket Javelin, which is. But even then, I'm just really trying to make one of like every type, like a Springer, semi-auto, flywheeler, full auto flywheeler, HPA, that kind of thing. Thoughts on the rival line? I think the Nemesis is the first one that takes advantage of it. I think every other blaster is dumb. I just don't get it. Like, the ammo is less convenient. It's less available. It bounces around everywhere. It's just not as convenient as darts. Yes, they're more durable, but that's where it stops. The only thing it has going for it is the fact that you can just dump a bunch of them, because they're same on all sides. Nemesis, great idea, awesome. The other ones, a small part of me doesn't like that, but you know, whatever. It's okay. I also don't like using blasters with other ammo types. It kind of drives me nuts. Yo. There's no third yo there. Thoughts on the rival line. What is your Destiny 2 light? I am ashamed to say that I am 304. 305 is maximum for those of you who don't play Destiny. And class. Warlock. I have 2 Warlocks and a Hunter that I have not touched. I don't really play anything besides a Warlock. And by don't really play anything, I don't play anything at all besides a Warlock. By the way, I found a really decent AC charger for 2S batteries, $12. I've had enough for a month. That works great. Even if it works great for you, I would never recommend cheap chargers, just because it's not really something you want to play with. I mean, if you mistreat those batteries, they're bombs. Plain and simple. If you take care of them, there's going to be nothing wrong with them. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people use lipos, and you know, you only hear a few cases of horror stories. But even so, that's the one thing I'm not going to cheap out on. I'm not going to cheap out on connectors. I'm not going to cheap out on anything that charges or discharges my battery. And a lot of those cheaper ones don't have discharge, which really sucks. So you have to kind of do it manually, like revving a blaster for 12 minutes. We're going. Printing a BusBee shell, running off juice shouldn't be very hard. Thoughts on Big NZ? Big NZ. I think NZ is for New Zealand because that's where he's from. I don't care. Just, you know, do whatever you want. I know for a fact he's not using the most efficient methods for doing stuff, so I can only imagine the hell he's going through to pour what he's doing. I would not have the patience for that, because he's got to be taking quite a bit of time to cast those parts, because he's not really doing it very efficiently. But I'm not going to comment on any of that. I don't have any problems with him. Just, you know, I'll do me, he does him. Ordered translucent orange parts a while back from you. Just wanted to say that they look fantastic and the blaster's coming along nicely. Thanks again. Those orange parts look freaking awesome. I'm not gonna lie. One of the guys from Containment Crew ordered the first set of translucent, the neon orange ones. The neon orange ones look freaking awesome. Not sure which ones you're talking about, but hey, that's I was gonna say who you were, but I'm not gonna actually say who you are now that I'm saying that out loud. Didn't know you were subscribed to me. Thoughts on Biggins? Yeah, your thoughts on Biggins. Oh, you're just repeating. Main lipo is 2S. Love Destiny 2. Thank you. Same. What lipo battery do you use for 3S strifes? Okay. I'm ashamed to say that I actually haven't built a personal blaster with anything besides XP180s. So I've never actually used myself something besides a 2S graphene. I know that sounds really dumb. I've done like a Hellcat tour build, but that was for someone else, and they were providing the lipo. So long story short, I'm not actually sure. I'm gonna have to find one for the Neos, because I actually don't know. That's terrible. Keep in mind that I've only made like 12 mods, so I'm not the most experienced. What are your thoughts on the Leviathan raid and gear drops? Bro, you're gonna trigger me. I'm about to go off on a rant here. Freaking, it's so much easier to get loot from trials that it's not even funny. You get like a whole freaking setup when you go once through trials, but you go through the Leviathan raid and it drops every other time, and when you open the door it only gives you for the first door. Like, come on, you literally get less than half of the gear going once on trials. It's complete insanity. The raid itself though, it's good. I think it's one of the better ones, definitely. Personally, I'm more leaning towards Kingfall being my favorite, just because that's when I was most active during Destiny. My clan, I run a clan that pulls people through raids, and we would pull, you know, people through raids like 12 times a week or something like that. And 3 of us, for those of you who don't know, there's 6 people in a raid group. And it's very Kingsfall is very technical. Everybody had to be in a certain place at a certain time, and 3 of us got to the point where we could pull another 3 people through. And if you ever played Kingsfall, you know how much of a, like, holy crap that is, because that's not easy to do. But we actually got pretty good at it. Just curious, what charger do you use? One sec. I can never remember the name of the charger. It's an iMax B6AC V2. That's my phone. I only buy lipo stuff off of Hobby King, because they actually have a fake version of this, and they tell you which is the fake version. Do not get the fake version. This is like $41, $42 without shipping. I only recommend AC chargers. There's literally no point in getting a DC charger, because AC usually has AC or DC. DC, you need an extra power brick, and I've had experiences with those power bricks from China where they literally almost caught on fire. 2 of them almost burnt down my house. So I never recommend DC chargers, but that's the one I have. How and what do you use to charge your LiPo? What LiPo do you use? Graphene, usually, Turnigy. I've also used the low profile something star ones. Trackstar. I've also used Trackstar as a hard case LiPo. Will you post this? Will you post this to YouTube? I'm actually not sure how to do that. But even if I could, probably not. Just because I showed my phone in this, and you guys probably didn't see much of it. But if you stopped and like paused it or whatever, you'd probably read some things. So probably not. We post this video. Hey, you're a Nerf nerd. Oh, I just read the username on that. Hi, Hawkeye. Do you use a pressure pot vacuum chamber for your resin? Yes and yes. Not going to go too much into that, but yes, I do use both. Where did I just go? I just scrolled and everything went to hell. Where am I? I was just curious. Blah 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 blah. Pressure. There we are. Non-neon. The non-neon ones do look good. I personally prefer the neon ones, but the regular orange ones do look good. You must have been a while ago. I think I remember making those for you, because I've only made a few of the non-neon ones. Ongoing projects. Currently I have 4. Everybody knows about 3 of them. Pocket Javelin, Dogma, and Glass Construct. The third one nobody knows about yet, and I'm not going to reveal that for a while. I think MDB made a good recommendation with the Neo motors. Yeah, I would trust Ryan, whatever he says. Message retracted. That's the second time his has been deleted. Is he deleting them, or is it like blocking him for some reason? Well, shit, muted. I'm muted? Am I muted? No, I'm not muted. Okay, you guys are still listening. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. You guys, that comment is like freaking 12 minutes old. What 2S would you recommend? Graphene. Yeah, it uses graphene. You can dab better than that. Bobo. Yeah. Would you switch to PC when it comes out? I don't really enjoy gaming on PC. Publicly wise, I have a lot of security on my internet, like a lot of security, so I have to allow every individual thing in. So I would have to turn off that security to play on there, which would kind of defeat the purpose of having the security in the first place. Xbox, however, I can just allow the Xbox and it does everything automatically. That's my reasoning behind it. I have a gaming PC, I just don't use it for multiplayer. It's just, I don't really like controller or mouse anyway. I know you can use a controller on the PC, but that's stupid. King's Fall is hard as AF, yeah. Fun, so much fun. Easily my favorite one. It's just because I did it so many times. I could do that raid with my eyes closed. Will you ever sell the cylinder one for companion? Maybe. That mold is not fun to make. I don't really want to get to the point where I would have to make another one. What size chips would fit the stock battery tray? I don't know. You're gonna have to go to Reddit for that. King's Fall's awful. Pretzels are awful. If you really want to trigger, you could bring up one thing, or let's give any other auto. Don't know the pretzel jokes. Whatever. Will you make a video explaining lipos? I'm not sure because I haven't looked at it, but I think Foam Blast made a video explaining lipos. But I mean, maybe. There's a lot of things. Yeah, Foam Blast did. Phoenix on top of it. When you delete it, exclusive content, no. Muted. Phoenix muted you when you started talking about Destiny. Oh, sorry, Phoenix. Thank you for your amazing stream. It was a very nice surprise. Sadly, I have to go again. Thank you for your wonderful night. Good night. I'm sure you're already gone because that comment's probably a million years old. But goodbye. Thank you for tuning in. I didn't know this many people would be tuned in. Are you gonna make a build with Neo motors? Yes. Sure. Why not? Yeah, maybe, yeah. Yeah. Probably not right away because everybody knows I'm slow as all hell, but I'm deleting them as make mistakes as finish. Okay. Show us your dabbing skills. No. What kind of, we used to, my entire, in Destiny 1, there's an emote where you dab, and I have one friend that absolutely can't stand dabbing. We legitimately all spent money on that emote so that we could piss him off. Everybody in my clan bought that emote. I kid you not. What kind of PC do you have? 870? GTX 870 or something. It's several years old now. Processor's a i7 3770K? 37? Yeah, 3770K. You know, SSD, blah 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 blah. Still running very, very strong, so I don't, and again, I don't game on it a lot, so I don't really see a need to upgrade. The processor's nice for editing, though. It gets things done super fast. How freaking awesome is Hanu? I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. Hanu, Houston area Nerfers Unite or something like that. It's great. It's awesome. The people there are absolutely awesome. It's a fun time. If you're in the area, you should totally go. Now that I'm looking at your username, I think I know who you are, but I'm not going to pretend. Time pack school. Nope. Still good here. Night Hawk. I can't wait for your next video. Are you gonna make a Springer? Are you gonna make a Springer build? No. No. I have a Retalicon somewhere where I literally took the plunger tube from the Retaliator and just stick it in a Recon. I have a clear one with a pump grip and stuff. I slapped that together in 30 minutes. I'm not trying to look down on people who do Springers and stuff, but it was very disappointing how easy it was. I don't there are plenty of tutorials out there, I'm sure. I'm just not interested nearly enough to deal with Springers. Obviously there's more, you could brass breach it or whatever, but I was expecting more than just kind of Dremel it out until it fits and then make a plate for the back. But I mean, again, I'm not trying to look down on anyone. I would never say this in a video because people are going to take it the wrong way, but I'm live streaming right now. I don't care. I'm going to say whatever comes to my mind. I'm not trying to look down on you guys. Anyway, if you are sitting here for an hour and 10 minutes, you guys know me enough where I'm not like, oh, you Springer peasants, you don't know how to mod at all. I'm not too terribly concerned. You guys are cool. You guys know me. Nope, I'm reading the same comments over and over and over again. You're going to need a very high C lipo if you're going to opt for Neo Hellcats. That's one thing I really don't understand is, people think amps equal power. That just screams inefficiency to me, but maybe that's just me. I don't really it's freaking 90 amp motor. It's that doesn't seem very safe. But whatever. I'm not the ones designing the motors. I don't know how to design motors, so whatever. I'll just stick with whatever. I also think you're one of the best modders. Thank you. I appreciate that. Why would you make a Springer when he has Ethereal Fortress? It is a legitimate concern. It is oh, I could make this mod, but why? Legitimate motivation struggles kind of peaked. GG Night Hawkeye Night Null. What do you think about the full auto kit? Again, I think it puts a little bit I don't personally like full auto just because that's me. I don't see, but if your thing is full auto, I think it's a legitimate thing. I don't like it because of how much stress it puts on the parts, even if they're just plastic and they're very light and they don't do much. When you pull that trigger and it goes slap 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 on the back of it, that drives me nuts. For the love of God, pad the back of that thing at the very, very least. But full auto kits, whatever. they work, right? It kind of takes up a lot of space. No room for LEDs unless you're putting in something else. But if full auto is your thing, it's definitely a plausible thing, because rapid strikes are very bulky. And forget the whole belt thing, the whole belt driven thing. Screw that. Rather have the stupid kit. Springers are more fun in the tuning part. Yeah, not a whole. Once you get a flywheeler working, it's not really too much about it. A little bit of maintenance, but listen, if you look on eBay for the right size brush, you can get a brush like this. Really, the only maintenance you need is if you have a brass brass cage like this, where there's brass in the front. You clean that out every once in a while, and that will make you shoot a lot more consistent. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of maintenance to them either. Hour times, yeah, I looked at the thing, I was like, oh my god, I've been doing this a long time, and I haven't stopped talking. Bye, time to go. Bye. Goodbye, random. I'm almost done 3D printing functional shadow price. What blaster are you using as a start? Because I always, shadow price is one of my favorites, by the way. I got a God Roll year 1. But I always thought the Rapid Strike looked a lot like the auto rifles in D1, but no, I never really saw anyone use it. I saw people use like other blasters, like the Springer Electric Stampede, but I haven't seen a whole lot of people use Rapid Strike, if at all. Have you ever thought about making blaster fire your monster dart? It's been tossed around as a joke, like, you know, stupid car tires trying to fling the thing, but it's never really been more than a joke. I've thought about like a jolt, like a giant jolt firing it, but not really, not that I want to invest. Any new resin cast parts coming soon? I posted some Rapid Strike parts on my Etsy store rather quietly a couple days ago. I have some other ideas for things, but I've been working on a lot of personal projects like this. I almost knocked out my 2 front teeth making this mold, quite literally. So I've just kind of been doing my own thing subtly, quietly. But aside from the Rapid Strike, not really. I don't think. No. A nerf Shadow Price? Yeah, that'd be so cool. I have a soft spot for Shadow Price. Fires with his hands. Beat people to death with it. HPA Master Race. Yeah, it's a little bit powerful nerf in my opinion. It's a little bit overkill, but it'll be nice to have one. I'm probably not going to use it ever, just because it seems a little bit overkill. But maybe for like homemade rounds or something. People think amps powered because Ohm's law. Unfortunately, amps voltage charges. Yeah. Got brushless motors, stepper motor, no base gun. It's gonna be brushless motors. No. No. Base gun. No base. I feel like I'm reading that wrong. Whatever. How to get a plug-in there, brother. See you next time. Oh, yeah. See ya. You still building Caliburn? A Caliburn. So, it's closer than I thought. This is my test Caliburn, because I am completely redesigning the entire thing. I have to keep certain dimensions, like where the magazine goes in relation to this, in relation to that. But I'm taking the 3-pole design of the 3D printed one and slapping it onto the rest of the homemade one. But I'm also taking the homemades and turning them into literally a solid block of aluminum I have for the stock. Literally. You see how perfectly that fits in there. Look at that. But so in order to do that, I kind of don't want to cut that giant block of aluminum more than once. So just to make sure that I have all of everything designed, I could design this, or I could manipulate the 3D program and like do it that way. But this just I feel like I can understand this a little bit more, so I'm just building a quick one. Going pretty slow because well, I mean, I'm ADD, but that's my plan so far. But longest story short of the story is this is what I have absolutely completed, and if this looks half as good as the rest of the build, that's gonna be freaking awesome. 17 watching. Hey, 17. Sorry for the misspell. I'm back. 15 watching now. Yeah, I think it's down to 14. Are you still doing more live streams? I mean, sure. Probably now that I actually have this set up, I'll probably get an extension for my camera to go into my closet, which is where I have all of my stuff. But then I'm not really sure how I'm going to interact with you guys. So maybe I'll start working out here and something like all of my equipment's there. So it's I'll think. But yeah, hopefully I can start live streaming. No guarantees, obviously. I'm back. We're doing my live streams. What do you think about the new worker? It's good. It's good. Extended, like the expanded plunger tube, I think is the main draw to it. Was it completely necessary? Worker stuff is good quality, but they tend to force it a little bit. And what I mean by that is all of it's like, oh, worker's so much better quality than Nerf. But if you actually pay attention to it, it's thicker plastic, and there's a difference between higher quality and thicker plastic. And it's kind of a lazy way to go about making things higher quality or seem higher quality. And I know I'm being a little bit picky, but again, normally I wouldn't say this in a video or something because that's like permanently there and I'm going to get berated by everyone. But this is just a live stream. It's just like me talking to you guys in a chat or whatever, so I don't care. But that's kind of always been my thing towards worker, and I have a feeling their blaster is going to be the same thing. But I mean, if you're into springers, I think it's a nice option. I think it's worth looking into. But I would personally wait for reviews because usually if something looks too good to be true, you're gonna want to wait. But it looks good, and it's going to get here much faster than the Jet X one, so it's definitely worth looking into. Oh, it has no base gun. Okay, so you're gonna like scratch build it. Good luck on that. That's gonna be interesting to see. Keep me posted on that. That'd be very interesting to see. Thanks for keeping me updated. The screen is so hard. You need a mill, Ben. I do need a mill. I would give my left leg for a mill. If I could afford stuff like that, how heavy is that she predicted to be? Wait, how heavy is that predicted to be? Must be a couple pounds. 2.4. I feel like I know the answer to that for some reason, but I don't. What do you think about the modulus strife leak? Is it legit? It's on Amazon. I don't see why it would be fake, and it's the difference there is the colors are different everywhere. We haven't seen a Photoshop like that, so that's a very good sign. And you can see that it's like actually painted on there and not just like photoshopped on there. So I think it's legit. There's no reason why it wouldn't be. It's probably going to be $30. My guess is going to be $30 with that attachment thing, and then it will eventually be sold by itself for like $25, and then eventually we can see like normal prices again. But again, so I can't help but think of the same thing. Oh, it's not orange anymore. It's not going to bleed through paint. It's white. So now if you chip it, which is totally a thing, I like it because it's just you know, like battle damage or whatever. But I have a couple bangs and like things, especially like up here is the biggest one, which isn't even really that big, but you can kind of see orange through it, and that that'd be completely fixed if you had a white shell. So it sounds terrible, but if it was between a $10 shell that's orange and a $50 shell that's white, I would have absolutely no problem paying $50 for a white shell, even though I'm painting it. And I know that sounds really dumb, but you know, that's me. I'm gonna get into with the aluminums. With all of that aluminum, you're gonna need a mill. Believe it or not, the bandsaw works. I've cut, that's 7/8. Good luck finding 7/8 aluminum. That took me like a freaking week. But I've cut 1-inch aluminum, believe it or not, without a problem with my bandsaw. So it shouldn't be too much of a problem. And then just lean into it, hog away with the sander. I do, because I do all that manually. I have the Cerberus somewhere that with that metal handle. He does, but they're expensive. Don't know what that was replying to, but that's okay. Favorite pistol? Favorite pistol. Again, I don't really use sidearms that much. I actually, the last war, a couple weeks ago, I used another blaster for the first time. It's literally the first time I've used any other blaster besides the Ethereal Fortress since I've gotten into the hobby. Like on like an actual playing field. And it was a Tech Target Eliminator. I aluminummed the front, and I extended the draw a little bit with some sort of spring in there. It has a perfect seal. I'll stick my pinky in there and pull the trigger. It will stay there indefinitely, but before I let it get out. That one's okay. So, favorite pistol, either the Eliminator or the Hammershot. By the way, my Hammershot sucks. Like, I completely sacrificed all of its performance for its looks. So, I would never really use that, but you know, is what it is. Agree with work a thing. Thick plastic is thicker, cheap plastic. Yeah. What brand of dart do you use? I use Raytheons because they've kind of wised up since I bought 3,000 of them last time. But you can get some stupid deals on Amazon. The last time I bought darts was on Amazon, so I got Amazon Prime shipping. They were $10 for 300. They were $9.99 for 300. If you bought 3, you got 10% off of your order. And then if you bought 5, your 5th one was free. So I bought 3,000 darts for $37 with Prime shipping. So I got a stupid good deal on that. So that's why I do that. But just waffles. They're just as accurate as Kush darts, but they go a little bit. They don't have as much oomph in them. I average about 110, 115 with. Really need to turn that off. Forgot to do that last time. My bad. They average about 110, 115 with waffles and about 136 with Kush darts. So you don't get quite the amount of range, but at literally less than a quarter of the price. I mean, come on. What do you need a mill? Dude, why do I need a mill? What would I not do with a mill? I could do everything with a mill. Are you kidding me? I could freaking make the shell for Dogma. Dude, I could make an aluminum shell. It's all a dream. I need to stop thinking that. Outer darts selling stripes on Etsy. That's good. Wonder where he got all those. I just bought 2. Do you use Kush? So where do you get them? I only get them on eBay. I don't really get them anymore. Oh, no, never mind. Actually, Raytheon is selling Kush darts as well. I've gotten those. They're decent. These are the Raytheon ones, and they're same exact thing as the ones off eBay. Still expensive. I think they're $15 for 200. But if in my opinion, Kush are easily the best darts for flywheels. But they're just so expensive compared to what you can get, and it's not really worth the price unless you're willing to pay that for those. Where am I? Get them. If I had a limitless amount of money, I would definitely use Kush darts over waffles, though. We'd use everyday stuff like cutting a watermelon into cubes and stuff like that. You're thinking two-dimensional. You gotta make a 3D watermelon with like, like patterns and designs on it. I'm excited for faction rallies, dude. You have no idea. I can't wait for faction rallies to get here. Yes, Gavin, you just won me over. Future War Cult. I'm sorry, but I'm the type of person that puts like myself in my primary character, and it's like I want to follow what I would actually do. So the lore does matter to me. Second character, I don't care. I'm gonna do whatever I want. But not only from that, but I do actually like the stuff that Future War Cult has to offer for warlocks the best, personally. So I'm going with Future War Cult. But Dead Orbit basically thinks that, oh, the Traveler's dead and everything on this planet is dead, so we need to whine and run away from the planet. And they're just whiny pieces of garbage, which is why I don't like Dead Orbit. And who the heck goes to... I almost cursed there. Who the heck goes to New Monarchy anyway? That's like, it's not even an option. Like, which of the two factions are you going to go to, right? There's going to be one guy out there that's going to be like, I'm in that. Why not a strong arm for a sidearm? I don't see a point. I just don't see a point. If you're going to get basically the same amount of range, I don't need that rate of fire. Otherwise, I'd be using my primary. Just two hands when you could use one. I mean, I don't use a sidearm to begin with, so it's a little not fair for me to say, but... are you going with Future War Cult? I'm going with Future War again, just so I can just need one. Sorry, but holy shirt! Oh, that's cheap for darts. It really is. Are you going to be doing water slide decals yet? Oh, hey, Walcom. I was just about to say, Walcom suggested that. That's funny you said that. Probably going to stick, just because the three-dimensional curve. You can kind of see the sticker would have to go, or the water slide would have to go like right about here. And there's kind of a three-dimensional curve there, and I'm not sure if I could do that without messing with a few water slides first. And I already have the stickers anyway, so I'll probably just end up putting a bunch of coats clear on it. Aluminum shell. Welcome. Waffles versus Kush for flywheel recommendation. I would always recommend Kush over waffles. However, waffles are easily way more worth it. Easily. By a lot. If you have an infinite amount of money, Kush. If you are a normal human being, waffles. Do you like AccuFake darts? Haven't really used them in a DRS cage, so I'm not. I don't really have an opinion on them. I've seen other people use them, and I heard they like them, but I haven't really used them myself enough to give you a opinion on them. Hashtag Warlock. Got a number of I got the number auto rifle feature. I actually did get that one as well, of all the ones. Freaking of all the whatever. Dead Orbit thinks we should run Future War Cults fight. New Monarchy thinks we should. New Monarchy wants a dictatorship. They want to completely remove any consensus and just be like, here's our one world leader. Is this really the time or place to do that? We have one city left. Is this really the time or place? Whatever. Night Stalker Hunter Master Race. Okay. But I'm not, guys. Titan stuff. Titan Master Race. You Titans. Did you? Oh, hey Nick. Did you ever end up writing that love letter? Did you ever end up writing that love letter? I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. The factory rally is a cool idea, but it'll be recycled gear. Only the helmet from the Warlock, or excuse me, the helmet and the gauntlets for Dead Orbit, and pretty much all the new Monarchy stuff are recycles for the Warlock. So we're getting 2 new chest pieces, and those are the biggest things. So I'm not too terribly upset. I personally like the stuff, but yeah, the recycled stuff is kind of a letdown. Hopefully, you know, we'll slowly get more stuff. I really like to minimize Demolisher because it feels a lot smoother than a Strife. That's your thing. You own how many P Bandai kits? All of them come full sheets of water slide. Try a few if you like. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. They're bigger. They're so much bigger. They're whatever. I guess it does come in one sheet, and I just don't, you know, cut the knots. Whatever. That's a future work of the best in the shot. Yeah, and not to mention everyone's going to be running around with the black and white shader as soon as Dead Orbit comes out, and I'm not looking forward to that. Freaking slap some color on there. Anything, any color. The number autos it's freaking glorious. I personally prefer scout rifles, but you know, dictatorship. Yeah, how will dictatorship fix anything? The whole idea is that they can get things done faster if they're just like, this is gonna be what happened. But I mean, if half of that was like that in Destiny 1, we wouldn't have done anything, because it would have been, I don't think we can do this, so we shouldn't, and we wouldn't have killed Oryx or Crota for that matter. Also, avoid burst. Devour is good. Devour is freaking broken. I personally don't use it because that's not my playstyle, but Devour is broken. Like it, I like it. I'm Warlock all the way, but it needs to be fixed. It's completely broken. For those of you who don't know, player versus player, multiplayer content, you can eat your own grenade, and that will give you a 10-second buff where if you kill anything within that 10 seconds, you'll get another 10 seconds. The timer will reset, and you'll instantly get all of your health back. It's completely broken. Wait. Not to be rude, I'm just curious. I have school in the morning. What time do you intend entering? I don't want to be... I wasn't planning on having a stream at all. I don't have anything planned for tomorrow, so I could go all night if I really wanted to. But if you have school in the morning, bro, don't stick around just for me. You know, get your sleep. I guess you didn't include in your last package the love letter I asked because it's too much money for you. Oh, I completely forgot about that. I should write that down. Oh no, I already shipped out your... No! Oh no, I completely forgot. I'm sorry, Nick. I'm so sorry. A public apology to Nick. I should have wrote him a love letter. At the very least, a heart. I like the new Trials weapon aesthetic. The Trials weapon stuff looks awesome. I like the color scheme. I like the armor, but you have some stupid things. You have some stupid elements in the armor that I'm kind of about, but the color scheme looks freaking awesome. I'm saving those shaders. Those shaders look awesome. What's your favorite exotic in D2? Armor is definitely going to be Lunafaction boots for the Warlock. You place down your rift, and if you step inside of it, or as soon as you plant it, it'll activate, or if you step out and then step back into it, it'll reload all of your weapons. Boom. Really easy because you have Merciless, the fusion rifle. You can just get all 8 shots off. You're firing super quick. Instead of reloading, drop down the thing, you can get off the other 6 shots almost instantaneously. Weapon, Merciless, highest DPS. Highest burst DPS, I should say. And legendary. Oh, easily. That's Nameless Midnight. The scout rifle. Freaking awesome. AoE, basically explosive rounds. Great, awesome gun. It's the same architecture as what's it called? a Vision Confluence, and that's the one. That's the type that I really enjoy. So I had a God roll, not like the others in Destiny 1, the same archetype. Explosive. That one had explosive rounds, Firefly, and crowd control. That was an excellent gun. I missed that gun so much. What's your opinion on the FTL2? Jesse's a nice guy. I really like his stuff. I think he's really smart. Definitely an engineer at heart. If you look at the design of the FTL2, definitely an engineer. But he's a great guy, and I would always support anything he does. I think there's still some improvements, because I'm hearing some reports of the pusher mechanism stripping, and I'm hearing some reports of the actual flywheel stripping. So I think there could be room for an improvement. But anything I could do to support him, I'm always gonna recommend his stuff. I remember Scout Road being super powerful right when Year 2 came out, and literally everything hand cannon times 3. There, yeah. Yeah, Trials gear is bee's knees. I'm rocking. I have the gauntlets right now. Not really rocking any of the other stuff, but go on night. Who cares about school? Yeah, no. I mean, if you know, it's your life. Use it when you need it. Rick, lucky, still bought you your shirt. Shaking my head. I'm sorry. I'll try to make it up next time. Gotta remind me. I'm not looking at the camera at all. The comments are right here. I'm on holiday. I was homeschooled all growing up, so I didn't really have to worry about that. Boom. My friends keep saying Destiny sucks, and every time I want to slap them in the face. Destiny is a grind, and if you don't have friends to play it with, it is going to be the most boring thing you could play. But if you have friends, and or you enjoy the grind, it's a completely different story. It's not really fair. It's also a very now experience, where if you buy Destiny right now, you're not going to get the same experience that you got buying Destiny at launch. It's constantly changing. But you know, some people like good games. Some people like, you know, Call of Duty. So. Burn. That was a burn. I just realized that I have text messages that I'm not answering. Yeah. Sorry. How unprofessional. He's answering texts in the middle of a stream. Okay, back to college homework. Grind. Good luck. You have ever played with rival blasters, even just for fun? Not like against other people. I've like plinked around with it at the house, and then I immediately proceeded to rip it apart and salvage it for its guts. Bye Nick. Yes, Nimbus Money is best. So use it religiously. Dude, I can't get away from that gun. Not like the others. FTL2 needs a cosmetic upgrade. Why did he put the motors horizontal or vertical instead of horizontal? I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. Rather, Better Devils is my kinetic weapon of choice. Better Devils is a excellent hand cannon. Again, AoE, freaking excellent. That's an excellent choice. Do you prefer? Do you order things from Monkey Mods often? If anything that's like from China or something, I tend to order off of Monkey Mods. Yeah, they used to be stupid cheap. Now they're still the cheapest, but not really the same deals that they had before. They kind of increased their shipping price. So, yeah, I don't. If they had their old prices, like shipping used to be stupid, like $8.50 for anything under a kilogram. Now it's more than that. So if they had their older prices, I'd be ordering things like left and right. But I still order from Monkey Mods because it is the cheapest place to get a lot of that stuff, but not as much anymore. Favorite raid, Trials weapon in D1 and D2. Easiest, the raid one's easy. King's Fall, hands down, was easily my favorite one. I could do that raid inside and out, left and right, upside down with two other people I'm thinking of, I could easily 3-man that. We used to pull people through it all the time, like 12 times a week. Trials weapon in Destiny 1. Didn't really play a lot of Trials. I just don't like the cancerous nature of the people there. Trials weapon. I didn't really like any of the Trials weapons. I used a hand cannon a lot in Destiny 1 multiplayer. Can't really use it in Destiny 2 multiplayer because I can't land my shots for anything. But I used Lingering Song, which was a late game. What's the word I'm looking for? Iron Banner hand cannon. 2-shot. Freaking stupid. That was a 2-shot hand cannon. That gun was it shot so slow, but it was so good. I do online school, faves of love. Can you still buy the DRS cage? Good luck. Good luck, man. I'm trying to get a hold of them, but I'm glad I got the 4 of them when I did. I have a bunch of friends who all know that I like DRS, and so someone was like, they have 5 of them in stock. I just bought one of them. I was like, I bought the other 4. So I just have a bunch of pages bookmarked. DRS is one of them, and I check it almost every day. That's pretty much going to be the only way you're going to be able to find it. GTG. Goodbye. Goodbye, pretzels. Can you still buy DRS cages? Just answered that. Work at 7. Don't want to interrupt the system. Text. Love you again. Oh, bye. I love you. That's my fiance, for those of you who don't know. I don't mind calling her out. Bye. Will you ever get the Gavin Fuzzy hand cannon kit for the... Here's the thing. I'm about to... I have a feeling I'm about to tick some people off. Don't mean to. I can't stand kits like that. Where it's like, look, I kind of look like this thing that you sort of kind of recognize. I used to be into prop making before I got into Nerf. And so it's very hard for me... And I'm very detail oriented, so it's very hard for me to look at anything that's supposed to be a prop or some sort of recreation of something when it's not accurate in the slightest. It's like if you have components that are like something that is an inspired build by this item, but that does not make it a... You know what I mean? It doesn't make it a replica of any kind or whatever, and I understand that's not what he was going for, but like, I've never been a thing for that type of thing, and on top of that, I kind of think the kit looks terrible, especially compared to some of the other ones that aren't trying to be a hand cannon. No offense to Gavin, he does a bunch of awesome stuff. He's a great guy, but that kit in particular, I kind of think looks ugly, and so I kind of don't like it. I think you're just better at, if you're into adding a whole front thing on your hammer shot, it's fine, but I don't really like the look of that one personally. Just my opinion though. Thoughts on OFP cages? You know, I think I think they have a lot of opinions. I don't know how much I trust any of their numbers really, because the way they're gathering their data doesn't seem to be very accurate, so it kind of destabilizes all of the theories and stuff. And when you point that out to them, they're like, no, that's not how that works. So kind of on the fence. You know, it is what it is. If you like OFP, I completely understand why, but you know, they have a lot of cages for a lot of different blasters, which is good, because you know, a lot of times it's like, I have this obscure blaster, I need a cage for it. Your only option is going to be OFP, so it's good that they're out there, but you know, it's yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave that. My favorite lore master. Your favorite lore master. Oh, Mylan. is probably going to be my favorite. I have a soft spot for him. I watch Datto occasionally. It's nothing religiously, but he makes easily makes the best mod guides. Or if you just want information right now, he doesn't screw around. He doesn't do all of this other crap that all of the other people do. He just gets to the point, and I love Datto for that. When are you gonna make a new Murph? Can you tell I've been talking for almost 2 hours? When are you gonna make a new Nerf mod? I've been struggling a little bit with motivation. Got some other things going on behind the scenes. I'm kind of slowly working on stuff, but not as quickly as I would like. You know, doing my best. Other than DRS cages, what would you recommend? You're still making your BSP cages. I am making my BSP cages. Besides DRS, what would I recommend? Let's see. I mean, if you want that level of quality, your only real other option is going to be the riot cage, the metal riot cage. Just simply because DRS cages aren't available. Personally, if you're not making something right now, I would literally rather wait and stock the website, because I think you're buying something inferior for virtually the same price. But if you're not worried about the metal, then I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, they're all, it's like the whole like high crush thing. I mean, you're ruining your darts for no reason. I don't need 170 FPS for blasters. I don't want to get hit by something like that. I wouldn't want to use that against somebody else. But other than that, all your 3D printed cages, pick one out of the lot. That's what's hard about it. I mean, I'm trying not to recommend my own thing, but I literally built it to compete with the DRS cage because no one else was competing with, like, accuracy wise, and no one else is claiming other accuracy wises. The only thing I could say is the riot cage has the ability to accept brushless motors. And the thing about brushless motors, brushed motors are obviously not really controlled by anything. So my theory is every single one of them is going to have a slightly different frequency to it. It's going to be slightly different RPM. So if you have two motors, one of them slightly different, it's going to always torque a dart in a direction other than straight, because one of them is going to be spinning faster than the other. With brushless motors, so you kind of need your brass guide to kind of keep that straight. With brushless motors, you don't really have that problem because they're being controlled by a computer. They're going the exact same speed, so you don't need a brass guide because they're going the same speed. So you're always going to get that consistency. So that it might, if you're looking for accuracy, it might be feasible if you can't get your hands on DRS cage to start looking into brushless simply for the speed control. But I'm really trying not to promote my own stuff, but I'm really struggling to find something besides a BSP cage that even offers something different besides I'm a cage that is more stable to put in stuff. You know what I mean? Because if you look at it from that point, they're all the same, aside from the like high crush, super, ultra, whatever ones. I just got a oh, that has nothing to do with that. Okay. Sorry. Whew. Let's see. I'm probably gonna end the stream soon. Probably at the 2-hour mark. We're going for an hour and 51 minutes, 51 and a half minutes. Probably gonna end it here in probably about 9 minutes. I've been going for quite a while. I wasn't expecting, for those of you who haven't been here since the beginning, I was literally just sitting here like this, looking at my screen for like 10 minutes before I realized, oh crap, I'm actually live streaming, because I'm trying to figure out this whole live streaming thing. But I didn't intend to be on at all. What magazines for Nerf do you use? I have an opinion on everything, don't I? I use the Nerf brand 18 clears. I have gotten rid of all of my other 18 magazines, like my orange ones. I gave those to someone else. Just because I'm that anal and I like everything to be the same. And I like the clear mags. But the worker mags, I don't get the whole bend in the magazine because it just makes it less reliable because you have the thing catching on the thing, and if you don't like put it in right, and everybody I've seen with worker mags says the same thing. They're great, they feed reliably, they're so awesome, but every single one of them, they start using it and I see this. Or I see, oh, hold on, it's not feeding correctly or something. Every single time. So I'm not convinced that worker magazines work. If they had a straight 22 magazine, I would be more willing into that. But the problem is, if you look at a worker magazine, the follower is about half the size this way. So you're more likely to get it twist this way or another. Since this one's so long, you don't really have that problem. Even if I push just one side on this, try doing that with a worker magazine. It's gonna cock down and it's gonna jam. I stick with regular Nerf stuff just because they're the most reliable, and the most important thing to me personally is reliability in all of my stuff. Everything else I could almost care less, because if you have an amazing blaster that shoots amazingly, it's super accurate and high rate of fire and all this other stuff, but it only fires 2 out of 3 times, what's the point? I swummed out a question once and he did not seem grilled to help. I asked Foam Data a question once and he did not seem grilled. I'm assuming you mean thrilled to help. Yeah, thrilled, there it is. I mean, ask away, man. Your opinion on Failsafe. I don't like her. Thank you. I think you're the first person to agree with me. It's like trying too hard to be funny. Like, it's like, oh, look, I have a second personality. Oh, look, I'm trying to be funny. I don't know. Like Cade pulls it off. I think he's fine. He's not my favorite character, but I think he's fine. But Failsafe, I think, is trying a little bit too hard. I feel like it's poorly written, in my opinion. If you want her, you might as well just... That just jumped. You might as well just get... yeah, you might as well just use Half-Life darts, agreed. Oh, hey, Soviet. For a normal 2S, what voltage would you stop using it? Usually, I carry around a pack like this, and I have 2 lipos in it, and I check mine often, so as soon as it gets to the, 7.6, that's sorry, my brain's stopping working. That's about the resting point for lipos. What am I? The storage for lipos. So usually it's just, there's no point in going any further, so I'll just swap out the battery. But I mean, you can go a little bit lower than that. I'd start being careful a little bit after that though. But you can also look up RC stuff online. Don't look into Nerf, because people are always going to have like different opinions in Nerf, but RC is one of those things where it's already established and this is what these were meant for. So if you ever have any questions about lipos, I would recommend looking up RC forums and looking up RC people who ask RC questions. What do you think about the worker flywheel cages? Get something else. Like, it's on the verge of you might as well just get a 3D printed one. You should really live stream more. Yeah, first time I'm live streaming, so maybe I'll... I honestly didn't think I'd have people like in here at all, let alone as soon as I got on there were like people like, pay attention to me, and I'm like, wait, are there actually people here? Steam or some sort of in YouTube system. I don't know what that is, Soviet. I don't know what you're talking about. What gauge wire do you use for normal mods? I use 16 gauge wire for everything, just because that's, you don't really need any more than that. It's still relatively flexible. And I mean, I got like whole freaking spools of the stuff, so. I also have 18 gauge wire, but I don't really use that. Take a whatever again, don't end. Personally, I find work 12s and F10 triple fives more reliable. I don't like 12 round mags. If you like 12s, I get it. I just don't like them myself. Opinions on drums. I love a 25 round drum. 25s are nice. 35s are finally now usable again because Michelle is nice enough to custom order those springs for us. So if you're not using those springs with 35s, I think they're garbage. If you get the springs, I think that actually makes them a feasible option. Personally, I just don't like drums because they're hard to carry. But I know plenty of people that don't run any magazines and they're just constantly top loading and they have a drum. So I mean, perfectly feasible. But if you're carrying any amount of magazines, or it's anything more than just your I don't like dropping magazines on the ground and just leaving it. That's perfectly fine. But I don't like doing it. I like taking care of my stuff a little bit better than that. Not downing anyone, but which is why I don't run like a 25 at the beginning of a game and then just drop it and ditch it and get another magazine. Not to mention it kind of messes up my reload, like I said before. I'm constantly running around like this, so having a drum there would kind of mess up my whole ergonomics that I'm used to, because I reload like that. But not my thing, but you know, they're good. I just ordered a Cade and Zavala and Shaq's pop vinyl. Don't mind Warlocks, but I hate Ikora. I don't really like Ikora that much. I have Oryx downstairs. I pre-ordered that. I'm gonna nerd for a second. I totally pre-ordered that like 4 months ago. I'm not into the pop vinyls like at all. I think I got a Alduin figure from Skyrim. And then I got Oryx, and those are the only two I have. I'm not really into pop vinyls, but I saw Oryx and I was like, I don't have a choice, man. I have to get that. 16 watching. 17 watching now. Favorite stock blaster. Favorite stock blaster is probably going to be the Alpha Trooper. In its stock form, I think it's one of the more reliable ones, and one of the better performing ones. And, you know... I mean freaking AA or any stock batteries for any blaster. Not only is it not powerful enough, but they're not going to last you long enough to justify it. You're going to be going through batteries like that. So Springer for stock blasters, which is another reason why I don't down people. I joke all the time like Springer peasants, but I really don't mean anything by that. I'm just teasing because I genuinely see a reason for Springers to exist. For people to use them. So if Springers are your thing, I totally get it. What streaming program are you using? If YouTube develops a base, I went down the list of the ones YouTube was recommending, and I ended up on the there's like two. Shoot. What is this? X something. X. Someone help me out. X something. Someone help me out here. I can't remember the name of the program. Was XSplit. There's like two XSplit ones. I just picked the first one. I don't know what the difference was, and that's when I was like sitting here like an idiot like this for 10 minutes before I realized I had already started streaming. You go to like outputs, and then you can copy paste like some sort of like long digit code. Put it in like the ID or whatever, and it will find your place, and it will like link it together. That's the only thing I really had trouble with. For those of you who don't know how to stream, because I had no idea how to stream 2 hours ago, and it's past the time I said I was getting off. Is that going to stop me? No, because the questions are still coming in. Where am I? Do you like artifact red cages? Nope. I hate artifact cages simply for the fact that they are terribly designed. They are garbage designed. Whoever designed them literally took 24 hours to design them. Or the gold. I don't like either one of them. I know that seems a little bit harsh. Again, I'm saying I'm being a little more open in a stream because I'm not posting this on a permanent YouTube video. If you're sticking with me for this long, you guys are... You know, I don't need to explain anything. You know, I don't mean anything by it. But It's just all my personal opinions, but I don't like artifact cages because they're terribly designed. Would you consider looking at my channel? As a policy, I put down not to answer to any of that stuff because like I don't want to be mean, but at the same time I can't do that because then everybody would be asking me. It's the same thing if you've ever contacted me through Etsy. I get a surprising amount of people say, contact me through my email here. As a policy, I do not reply to, I'll tell people I'm not going to send you an email. Because I'd be using my personal email, and I'm not going to give that to everybody who wants to contact me. So, sorry, but no. Also, if you put that in a comment, this is a live stream, so I don't care, but if you put that in a comment, like, check out my channel, it's either going to be filtered out automatically by YouTube, or I'm going to remove it myself. Again, just a personal policy, I don't mean anything by it. Oryx needs to brush his teeth. He really does. He also needs bigger feet. If you ever looked over the edge, he has really tiny feet. My friend is giving his deploy in Vulcan because he doesn't like them. He also has no idea of evil plans. If you're talking about Wallcom's video, it's going to be good. Springers are amazing for pure capacity. I mean, you can have this. I mean, if it's a mag-fed blaster, you can have the same capacity in either one, right? XSplit? Yeah, XSplit. I don't know. Soviet, don't ask me questions. I got nothing, man. It's a program called XSplit Broadcaster. If you go into the upload section of YouTube, and then it'll be like, you need to like confirm your thing. I was already confirmed, so I was like, go right in. And then on the right, it says set up encoder software. If you click on that and like follow the links there, it'll give you like a bunch of recommended things. One of them is XSplit. What is the project that you're most proud of? What is the project you're most proud of? It's gonna be my answer for a lot. Really need to make a D2. On dual automatic services, 2 switches. Any advice? I want dual automatic strife builds with 2 switches. 2 switches. I don't understand. I think if you're talking about general advice for the automatic pushers, I think MTB has a video on auto pushers that they made. So I would recommend checking them out for further details on that. If not, then you can always ask Reddit for some more advice. How much did the Oculus Dawn sell for? Yeah, you would be correct. That is $1,200 that sold for. That sold within 40 minutes of me posting it online. We're the loyalists to the subs, and I appreciate it. Oh, thanks. I know what you mean. It's a few years ago. Make two videos on my other channel. How much did the Stinger Raven sell for? 340. And that sold. Now that I'm saying that out loud, I probably shouldn't say who it sold to because I don't think he's done anything with it yet. So I'm not going to say who it sold to. Entire channel. 2 switches. One for the trigger, one for the red trigger. Yeah. I think Make Test Battle has a tutorial on auto pushers. Because I've never personally messed with auto pushers because I don't like full auto. So I think Make Test Battle is going to be your best bet. Search through their videos. Are there any YouTubers that you really want to meet? I mean, I've met the majority of them already, in terms of Nerf. I mean, Drac, Bobo, the girls over at Foam Blast. I've even met Make Test Battle. I'd still like to meet Justin because he didn't come to End War. But I met Ryan and Alex. I'd still like to meet Jangular. I've always admired Jangular, but I've been lucky enough to meet most of the people and have an actual relationship with most of the people. Like if I wanted to contact Drac right now, I could. I've been fortunate enough. Two searches. Meat. Did you call? Do you call him Gall or Gary? I call him Dead. No, but I call him Gall just because that's. I run a raid group, so it'd be kind of hard for me to joke around like that. Because I'm usually the one doing the most callouts. Or hey, that dude over there. Or shoot him, or something like that is usually what I call him. What microswitch you use? I use Omron switches. Hey, look at that. Got one right in front of me. You know I'm a modder when I have one right in front of me. These are not exactly the smallest thing in the world, but I will always find a way to make these things fit because I personally don't like the smaller ones just because I feel like they're not as good. They probably are. If you don't mind, look up Cherry D2. I really would only get those from Mouser.com because those are going to be the official source of them. Also, DigiKey works. But I wouldn't really get ones off eBay because they're almost guaranteed to be fake. You're going to be spending a little bit more, but switches are the one thing that you're coming into contact with constantly. So it makes sense that you would get a expensive one because you're going to have that extra feel. You're going to, I mean, it's going to be the one thing you're doing all day with your blaster, right? So, yeah, $1,200. Yep. That I freaking posted it, and everyone was asking me how much I was selling it for, and I said, no, I'm going to wait till NWAR. It's going to be an auction. And then someone contacted me who I have done a commission for in the past, so I knew he was good for the money. And he was like, I'm putting down this bid. It's like, okay. So I waited for NWAR, and I didn't post it because I knew that was going to scare people off. Drac actually bid the minimum of $800. And then I was like, well, now I have to put it down. So I put down the $1,200, and of course, no one came anywhere close to that. So it technically sold in 40 minutes. Very fortunate enough for that blaster. That was a great blaster, though. Almost didn't sell that one. That was a really, really good one. But the whole point of that blaster was to put my best into it, and then see if I would have the guts to sell it, which glad I did. I meant it was insane blaster. I meant it was an insane blaster. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean it was an insane. Yeah. Have you ever dreamed of raiding with Dream Team or Dado? No. No. I mean I don't do it to, you know, like get through quick or look how awesome we are or whatever. I do it for my friends. So I'd rather fail 1,000 times with my friends than to go with someone I don't know like Dado. I mean, Dado's a great guy. I just don't get like oh my god, it's Dado, or any what's the word I'm looking for? Starstruck. I don't really get starstruck. So they're just people. So a lot of money within 40 minutes of posting. Yeah. Agreed. When Hawkeye takes a test, every answer is just 304, just season A plus, only for schoolwork that I like. Yeah. Hey Ben, big fan. Would you make clear parts for the Star Wars blaster? Thank you, I appreciate it. The short answer is no. Long answer is, it sounds selfish, but if I'm not working on the blaster, I have trouble motivating myself enough to put into that kind of money something that I'm not using myself. The reason why I'm making Rapid Strike parts is because, surprise, I'm working on a Rapid Strike. So, not really. I don't really take commissions like that. You can ask Soviet. I don't really take commissions like that. But, you know, sorry. Love Omrons. Dude, who doesn't love Omrons? If you don't love Omrons, you're not doing Omrons right. Oh wait. Yeah, Omrons. I almost read that as Omelon. Although Omelon is my favorite weapon company in Destiny. Yeah, Omelon, someone made that joke. Ha! You guys, you get me. They're fine for 2S, but I feel like I've been talking to my computer for 2 hours, but I know you guys are real. Usually I'm just used to vocalizing back. I have not stopped talking for 2 hours, and I'm starting to feel it. You guys are fine for 2S, but if you run 3S for push limits, what's wrong with Cursed Companion? It feels like crap. I purposely sacrificed the barrels, the proper barrels, for the aluminum ones, because the cylinder accepts 9/16 brass, which means you can put 9/16 brass and then nestle inside of it a half-length 1730 seconds. So ideally, you would half brass it, and that would get you a good performance. The only problem is, of course, I want the aluminum, which is a full the equivalent of a full brass. Not really the best thing when your plunger volume is this freaking big. So it does not shoot well. It does not shoot well at all. It shoots a lot better if you take the dart and kind of roll it like this. If you take the dart and kind of do one of these and then throw it, it does a little bit better. But I mean, it's real pretty. It's real pretty. Switches, it is Master Race. Shoots like crap. You're not. We're not real. We're the Matrix. Great movie. I remember seeing segments of that when I was a kid, but I didn't care enough to pay attention all the way until later on in life. I made the Hawki pulses no longer fire 4 bursts. That makes them unique. Really? What the hell? Unless I'm just not smart. How did you get high gloss finish on your blasters? 2K. I use 2K. You can get it in cans. You can get it on Amazon for like 25 bucks a can or something, but you have to pop something on the bottom because it is a 2-part mixture, so you have to use it within 24 hours. The way you're going to use 2K, so you're not wasting it, is put on a very, very light dusting all over it. Make sure you cover everything, but it's going to be a very, very light dusting. You're going to wait for it to flash over, which basically means you're going to wait for the alcohol or whatever base it is to evaporate. So you're going to wait about 5 to 7 minutes, and then you're going to start putting on heavier coats. If you start to get like drips or whatever, you can literally just blow it off with like an air gun or even your mouth or whatever. Just don't spit on it. But then you put on like 2 heavier coats, flashing them in between. So put on a heavier coat, wait about 7 minutes, and then put on another coat, and you shouldn't have any trouble. But I have an air gun now, and that's what I used for Oculus Dawn. So much easier. It's way more initial expensive, but it's a lot cheaper in the long run, and it was just way easier. Just way easier process because you don't have the aerosol, which apparently is a huge thing. How do you get high gloss fish? Yeah, no, just stare. You don't mention it. Delete it. Can you explain the sanding process you use? All hands. Blasters don't really have as much effectiveness when you're using like sanding blocks or whatever, because there are just so many intricate things it's not even worth pulling out a sanding block. I use a sanding sponge occasionally. You can get those. Harbor Freight is a good place to get sanding stuff. Super cheap. Like those stupid sanding blocks, those 3M ones are like $5 for one or something dumb like that. You can go to Harbor Freight and get a package of like 10 of those things for like $3, $5 or something like that. But occasionally I use one of those for like more flat spots. But all hands, start with 120, bring it up to 320 wet sanding. And that's pretty much it. I sand everything before I tack everything together to make sure that it's lined up. Then I'll remove one half the shell, untack everything. If you put isopropyl alcohol on hot glue, by the way, and you trace that with the hot glue will come right off. So I untack everything, sand everything, put it back together, retack it with hot glue, and then DevCon it. Take the hot glue back off. And I think that's going to be my favorite process for a while. But yeah, that's all unfortunately hand sanding. I got an airbrush, cheap. Yeah, I got an airbrush too. I haven't used it, like the smaller one. I haven't used it just because I don't really do a whole lot of weathering on my stuff. But I've always wanted an airbrush since I was a kid, so it's nice to have. Wacom was trying to pester me to get one, but luckily Amazon broke itself, and he got one for super cheap. So everything worked out in the end. I feel non-unclosed is confused. Do you plan on hydro dipping the blaster August on it? The problem with hydro dipping is not the process, but I don't like any of the patterns. I'm a simple guy. Black and gray is my main blaster. I don't like most of the patterns. They're like skulls or camo or whatever, blah blah blah, carbon fiber. I don't really like it. Sorry, I'm saying a lot. Sorry, it's late. For Chaos Dogma, I'm going to hydro dip it with carbon fiber because that's the look of that. But I mean, I just don't like any of the patterns, to be quite honest. Do more streams. I'll try to do more streams. This is fun. Maybe, you know, we'll see. Running out of questions that you guys could ask, I'm sure, but don't want to bore you guys. I think I'm gonna immediately jump off here and order some cables so I can extend some things. But I've been thinking about getting a monitor for my closet anyway. That sounds like the most lazy thing I could ever say, but I'm thinking about getting a monitor in there because I spend a long time in there and I kind of don't really have anything to do besides just sit there and like listen to music or something. So maybe I could have a screen up there and like watch YouTube. What I was thinking. You know, I'd have a little bit more motivation to be in there longer. Because like obviously all of my electronics are here and I don't want to sand right at my desk. I've done it before, but it's not smart. Wouldn't want to do it constantly. But with the monitor there, that gives me another excuse to you know, read comments and stuff. So it might be a decent excuse to you know, like I could do live streams and watch YouTube. Let's see. And if because I have a wireless mouse and stuff, and I'm not really using my mouse a whole lot for this, so. Fun fact, Hawkeye always has 2 keyboards and 2 mice hooked up to his computer because it's behind. It's actually a touchpad, but it's behind my my bed. And because I have a TV right here, actually, TV. And if I'm watching Netflix or something from my bed, I'll just pull that out really quick. The touchpad's really glitchy, but you know, I don't really use it a lot for. Like I don't browse from my bed, so. I didn't want to make a shows autos use me and my child. Isn't a way to print. Isn't there a way to print hydrographic film? I haven't told anyone this, but it's been like a year and a half since I've had this idea, so I might as well tell people. If you actually go through with it, give me a shout out. But I actually found a repeating pattern of cardboard and a repeating pattern of duct tape, and I thought about making my own hydrographic film and making a blaster where it was cardboard and you had some like fragile stamps on it or something, and then the secondary color would be duct tape, so you'd have like a duct tape handle or something, and you'd have like a box blaster, and I think that would be kind of funny. I think that'd be kind of cool. But it's been such a long time since I've had that idea, and I've had so many other projects go on that it's just completely, you know, fallen to the wayside. So I might as well throw that out there on a live stream, right? Use carbon fiber vinyls. Vinyls aren't really a great idea just because you're gonna have trouble with 3-dimensional curves. 2-dimensional curve being that, it's gonna be fine. But then you add a 3rd dimension, like a bowl shape or something, and you're gonna have a hard time stretching it over that. It's possible, but not really for Nerf blasters. You might as well just do hydrographic. Galaxy Hydro Dip. Hate the Galaxy pattern. No offense. It's just one of those things that's just been way overdone. I don't get it. My fiance likes that pattern. I know Zambona uses nothing but that pattern, but I just don't get the Galaxy stuff. It's, again, too like flashy. So your closet. Your closet? What about my closet? What about my closet? All of my stuff's in my closet. I have a 12-inch drill press in my closet. Like all of my stuff's in there. Which is why I'd have to move everything in there. I'm still at 17 people. That's amazing. You guys are crazy. You guys are nuts. Appreciate the support, guys. And you print your own film. Out of all your blasters that have come out this year, which are you more excited? Out of all of the blasters that have come out this year, which are you more excited about? Would it be bad if I said the Strife, the modular Strife? I I have such a hard time with like fun blasters or whatever. Like I can't help but see like the efficiencies and the inefficiencies of stuff, and that really affects how I see them. So it's really hard to for me. It's not really fair. But I'd have to see a list of blasters that came out this year, to be quite honest. I can't remember all of them, and that really wouldn't be fair. What is the next base blaster for your next mod? I posted it before. It's a Zeus back. New inbox. What's it called? New inbox Elite Raven that I cut up, and then a XD Rapid Strike, and that is Glass Construct. So I was working on that, but then you guys distracted me.
Power off.
Sorry, I forgot I left on the speaker. Blah blah blah. Most excited about next mod. You need to organize your room. It's messy. Shush. This is Destiny 2. Bunch of crap. Legos. That's actually what's his name? Smaug. Yeah, that's all Nerf stuff. That's Lego. Laundry is fun fact. I always keep that door open whenever I turn on the camera because my laundry is back there. All of that is all Nerf modding stuff. Some of my tools, sandpaper, and adhesives. Blasters down below here. That's all of my mailing stuff. So I have some mailing equipment in there and stuff. But yes, I am a bit of a mess. Mailing times 3. Please make a carbon blaster a thing in the future, please. That would be amazing. I would love it. It would be a cool blaster. We're not crazy. We're loyal. Preach it. Opinion on trailers. I think it's the 9 and the what? I feel like I'm missing something. I know who you're talking about. The people. I think the triangle ships are the darkness because they have concept art and it's literally labeled the darkness and it looks just like those ships. So I think they're adding another race and it's going to be the darkness. Like I think they're actually going to make it a thing, which I don't know how I feel about that, but I mean I feel like all those guys are at the same point that everyone else was in year 1, where it's kind of like all they really do is talk to us while we're on missions, and I don't know them at all. Like, so I feel like the Vanguard has kind of stepped up to characters I know, and now these guys have replaced them, kind of thing. So, you know, I feel like the only one that has any amount of personality is the what's her name, the failsafe. But again, I don't really like her, to be quite honest. Deploy it, troll people with it. I'm not some crazy. Or you seem very tech person like tech like thing or like technical. I am very technical, but like tech. I try to keep up with the lingo, the technology that the kids keep up with. The stock looks even nicer than I could have imagined. Stock? What stock? Stock looks nicer than I could have imagined. What stock? Oh, that. Late to the quick draw. Glass construct, love name and body. Oh, the blaster, by the way. Sorry for distracting you from doing your mods. You guys are fine. I don't mind. Need a distraction. Good distraction. What do you use to bond your integrations? DevCon. I say DevCon as a quick shortcut, but I don't actually use DevCon anymore. Hold on. I know I have more somewhere. I use the Loctite plastic bonding stuff, plastic bonder. And what you're going to want to look for on the back, if I can find it. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but right there where it says methyl methacrylate, contains methyl methacrylate, that's what you're looking for. And that's going to basically say it's the exact same thing as DevCon. The only problem with DevCon is here, at least, it's a lesser brand, and it doesn't go in and out of stock as frequently. So I've had DevCon that has sit on the shelf for months, absolute months, just sitting on the shelf doing nothing. So it goes bad. It'll eventually get to the point where you mix it properly and everything, but it'll start to get gummy, and it won't fully cure all the way. That's what that is. It's old product. So I stick with Loctite, but it's the exact same thing. I'll say DevCon because it's the same thing. It's just harder to say methyl methacrylate. It's the same thing. DevCon. Where was I? What was I doing? Binary integration. You should do chrome and flat server like Atheon color with blue. That would be cool. Like an Atheon color scheme. That would be freaking awesome. Dude, get some neon blue parts in there. Put like a Vex eye. Dude, that'd be awesome. Tech thing. Do you like Adam Savage tested builds and stuff like that? Adam Salvage is a cool person. I'd like to meet him one day. Very prop maker. Where it's like, I don't care what it's made out of, just get it to me right now, as long as it looks good. But he can also take his time on things and make them quality. But if it's like aesthetic, like I think he modified a Nerf blaster not too long ago. Like he was just like the internals, he didn't really understand it, and he didn't take the time. He didn't need to take the time enough to delve into it to understand it. He just got a kit because they had a kit and modified the internals, and then the rest of the time was painting the outside, and he just was all over the place with the brush, and he made it look stupid amazing, but he only did it in one day because he's Adam Savage, and it just needs to look good, and he just needs a prop right now. So he has his own style, definitely. Very, very particular in everything that he does, especially when he's recreating something. He's a really cool guy. Very particular about his stuff. I appreciate his work. By the way, my Destiny 1, I have the exotic Chaos Dogma. Yeah, I've gotten a couple of those. Don't like the red. Not gonna lie, don't like the red as much. The Dogma itself is on the verge of being an excellent gun. But it's right there. You can get off like 36 shots without reloading if they're all headshots. It's so close to being good, but I have a god roll of something else, and it's really hard to let go of that. But looks-wise, I think it's easily the best-looking gun in Destiny. The only one that even comes close to it is Pocket Infinity, which I did want to do before I got into Nerf, but that's just a real complicated blaster, or a real complicated gun. I don't really want to get into it right now. When would you make special colored BSP cage again? I would love to buy one. Anytime. If you contact me on Etsy and be like, hey, can I have this this cage in this color? I'll say sure. You know. Custom colors and stuff is always open. It's just a pain in the neck for me to like make a listing for every individual thing. So I don't really like red. I don't really like red, but oh well, yeah. I actually hate the red. Yeah, agreed. No one used Pocket Infinity. It was so good. Dude, if you ever used Year 1 Pocket Infinity, that thing was broken. I will ruin your Destiny 2 experience. Merciless, if you know what that gun is, they should have made it Pocket Infinity V2. It's so close, and it makes me so mad that they didn't, because it looks so much better than Merciless. But I feel like it's a fixed version, because those of you who don't know, Pocket Infinity was stupid broken because it was a fusion rifle. You have to charge it up, boom, and then it fires a burst for a mid-range, a lot of damage. The only problem is Pocket Infinity was a special one that fired in full auto. So you'd charge once and then it'd go boom, 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 boom. But if you missed a shot, then it had a chance to reload it back into the magazine. So instead of running out immediately, you almost always had an almost limitless amount of ammo coming out of your blaster, or coming out of your gun until you got a kill. It was completely broken, and then they nerfed it into the ground. But Merciless, if you hit something and you don't get a kill, it charges faster the next time, and it'll keep doing that until you get a kill. If you get a kill, you reload it, it does more damage. It almost feels like a fixed Pocket Infinity, but they put the Merciless skin on it, and now I'm really sad. I broke one of my friend's heart. I said that, and he was like, "Oh, now I'm sad. I'm gonna think about it all the time." What soldering iron do you have? I have a soldering gun for some of the thicker stuff. A 140 watt iron, or 140 watt gun. Sounds like a bit of overkill, which because it is, but for the thicker stuff, burns right through it, no problem. Goes through tips like a maniac. They're super expensive, but it's really nice for the thicker gauge stuff. For some stuff that I don't really need quite that much thickness, I have or for more delicate work, I have a how do you pronounce that? Hawko, like the standard blue one. That's like $100. The soldering station. It's a good one. So I have that. Got that one recently. I used that one. I pretty much had to get that one after messing with Oculus Dawn, because I spent 16 hours straight soldering Oculus Dawn, and I used my soldering gun for that. Or no, excuse me, I had to get my dad's soldering iron, which is a thinner one. I had to borrow that one because all I had was the soldering gun. And after using that soldering iron, I was like, I have to get a soldering station. So, yeah, I have the shader for Merciless, so mine's white, so it looks a little bit better. But stuff to the ground. Yeah, everybody on Reddit's trying to be like, this gun's awesome. This gun's actually no, this gun's terrible. No, don't let Bungie see that it's good, because they're gonna nerf it. Keep watching, or should I review for the big test tomorrow? You should review for the big test tomorrow. I think I'm gonna wrap it up anyway. Starting to get down to 10 people watching. So I think I'm gonna end it here. I appreciate you guys. Gavin, I think you've stuck here this entire freaking time, so I really do appreciate that. I notice you. I always recognize you in the comments. But everyone else, if you stuck here this whole time, Caleb, I know you've been here a freaking long time. But thank you for sticking with me, especially when I didn't even think I was going to be streaming for 2.5 hours. What's wrong with me? Thank you guys for streaming. Thank you guys for sacrificing a couple hours of your Sunday afternoon. I really appreciate it. Maybe I'll do this again sometime. Hopefully I can get in some stuff to try to get over there. Good excuse for me to buy a monitor, right? Yeah, so, yeah, homeschooled too, yeah, it's a good thing, isn't it, being homeschooled. Do you watching? No, Sunday nights, so tired, yeah, that's why I started streaming, because I was bored, and I don't have anything else to do. Just stand by, feeling this me. Goodbye, can't wait for the next stream, have a good night, Ben, see you. Alright. I appreciate all the support. How do I turn off the live stream? Nobody judge me. Hold on, nobody judge me. Nobody judge me. Do I just hit the green button? I think I just hit the green button. I'm gonna hit it and then look like an idiot when I'm not gone. Alright, I'll talk to you later, guys. Night. Maybe. Maybe not. You can never turn it off. It's always on. Great. I legitimately don't know how to turn this off. Oh god. I think I might be trapped. This is one. This is just gonna eventually cut out, and I'm not gonna be able to say goodbye or anything. So I'll say my goodbyes now. Crap. This is not good. How do I end a stream? I might legitimately have to Google how to end a stream. Does anybody actually know how to end a stream? I'm not kidding. What a problem to have. YouTube. I mean, I could, but I'm afraid that if I open up a window again, it's going to start it up again. I suppose I could just crash my my streaming thing, because that's I'll turn off the cam, unplug, just throw my computer out the window. How do I stop a YouTube live stream? Oh, yeah, it says just crash your encoder. That's the stupidest. Streaming is the most frustrating thing I've ever seen. It's just like, turn off your encoder, duh. You'd think there would be like a stop button or something. That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Okay. I will talk to you guys later. Again, thank you for staying. Goodbye.